Welcome to our very Super Bowl edition of Who Won the Week. I'm Matt Ulrich, media analyst at EDO, the TV Outcomes company, and our longtime co-host, Mike Shields, is on a plane right now. Maybe he's going to be partying with Travis and Taylor. I'm not sure, but we have brought on Aaron Taube, content marketing manager from EDO's marketing team, to take us through the big winners of last night's Super Bowl.
Thanks so much for having me, Matt. I'm glad to be here. It was a long overnight shift in the content mines. I got about an hour of sleep, but I'm fired up here to be breaking down a long night of Super Bowl advertising with you.
And the Super Bowl is it's EDO's Super Bowl. So since 2015, the morning after the Super Bowl, we've been publishing a ranker of every single Super Bowl ad, which I think should be really appealing both for fans of Super Bowl ads in general, for our clients. So we're excited to share that list with everyone and hit on a few highlights today of who did win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean it was a great, exciting game, and you might have already seen our CEO Kevin on CNBC and Bloomberg, and got a byline cooking in Adweek, and our TV outcomes data is all over the place. You can see more details edo.com/Super Bowl. I did this overnight shift, so please, if you're watching this, like and share with your friends. So
You
all
look
my
good,
hard
sound
work.
great.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
Look good,
Thank you.
sound
Yeah,
great.
and that's its own reward. But if you want to give me a little more reward, please share this with your friends. So yeah, just a big day. And we had some nostalgic TV reunions and some surprising showings in auto and CPG categories and Hollywood blockbusters. But before we get to that, Matt, we gotta talk about Temu.
Yeah, I mean, EDO's top five ads were Deadpool, Wicked, Volkswagen, Poppy, and one of the six Temu ads. So Temu ran six of the same ads. You might have heard them last year as Temu, and now they have a new jingle which is burned into all of our brains. Which it's Temu, it's Shop Like a Billionaire, and not everyone is gonna spin the wheel as you saw if you went to their app or Temu.com. I mean, like Ad Age gave it a 1-star review. What EDO's data found is that so four ads of the six Temu ads placed in the top 16 of EDO's data. So the most impactful Temu ad was fifth in EDO's rankings, and the real number here is generating about 1,300% more engagement than the average Super Bowl ad. So while maybe some opinions reflected that Temu ran the same ad so many times, I think the data that we're seeing is that viewers engaged at a very high rate with these Temu ads. We're very curious and even went to their website.
That's awesome. I think that, we should pat ourselves on the back a little bit here. If you're a smart marketer who watches this show every week, you knew last week that Temu was poised for a huge Super Bowl. Matt, you pointed out the name change, you pointed out they had a strong performance, and just everywhere I go, people are talking, posting on X, formerly Twitter, all about Temu. So when you say that it had four ads in the top 16 and it drove um, over 1,300% more engagement than the median Super Bowl ad, what exactly do you mean by that? Walk us through kind of what these statistics mean. Give us a little context.
Yeah, we'll show this spike chart, and what this really means is that EDO captures the moment of impact for an advertiser. So we capture the spike in search engagement for Temu in this case in the minutes following an ad airing, and so that can last 5, 10, 15 minutes for a Super Bowl ad, and EDO is quantifying what is the ad driven engagement impact for Temu of every single ad, and EDO does this for every Super Bowl ad, and that's really the foundation. This, the spikes in search engagement driven by the ads, the foundation of our ad rankings.
Got it. Cool. So Temu aside, what else did we see in this year's Super Bowl?
Celebrities, in every ad, I feel like every conversation was, who's the biggest celebrity that you've seen tonight, or who do you think, what celebrities do you know are going to be in these ads? And then nostalgia came in a lot. I think We saw a lot of, 90s, 2000s sitcom stars. And we saw ads like Volkswagen, like the RFK Jr. campaign really hit on maybe that like cross generational, multi generational nostalgia.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it. Sort of these old TV shows. One joke we were telling around the virtual office on the Slack was that streaming is the new syndication. And you saw all of these shows that are getting a lot of viewing on reruns on the streaming platforms, whether it's 30 Rock or Scrubs or Friends or Suits, all
Scrubs.
these all these all
Yeah,
these
Suits. Actually,
reunions.
Suits really. Multiple commercials. I was very very impressed by the Suits impact.
Yeah. Were any of these really big winners engagement wise? Some of these brands that brought together all these old cast members.
Yeah, it was actually Mountain Dew. So they brought back the Baja Blast, and you have Aubrey Plaza, Nick Offerman, Parks and Rec. So Aubrey Plaza, elevators falling down, having a blast. So I guess some viewers had a blast to speak as well. So that ad generated 196% more engagement than the average Super Bowl ad. So of that group, that nostalgia group, Mountain Dew Baja Blast really stood out. And then I feel like we're talking nostalgia, right? So we have Volkswagen in there, and I know we want to talk about automotive as one of the most important categories. So we have brought in Will Price, who is a VP of brand partnerships at EDO, and he's really EDO's automotive expert. So he's on here to talk through, what happened in the automotive industry in last night's Super Bowl.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Good to be back. Before we get into auto, you guys mentioned Temu. Other big spender of the night, Homes.com. I don't know if it was the Las Vegas theme and the high limits room and big spending, but Temu wants everyone to shop like a billionaire, but Homes.com was also spending like a billionaire, had 6 or 5 collective spots. But again, they focused on creative variation, really creative impact, bringing in celebrities, but their performance wasn't as strong as Temu, as you guys already talked about. I think Homes.com, their best ad was about 181% more effective than the median Super Bowl ad last night. So interesting story of creative focus versus just repetition. But I know you guys brought me in for auto, so we can chat about auto now. But wanted to bring that one up.
Yeah, thank you. No, there's a lot of different ways to be creative at the Super Bowl, and definitely some different approaches there. And this was a bit of a different year for auto at the Super Bowl. The big three Detroit automotive manufacturers, they decided to stand in solidarity with the Detroit Lions and sit out this year's Super Bowl. And I think, did that create some room for some of the European and Asian automakers to kind of swoop in and take some of the focus and the consumer engagement with them?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good night for auto. Of the brands that appeared in last night's Super Bowl, all of them overperformed. Matt, you already mentioned Volkswagen with a nostalgia fueled ad. They were the big auto winners of the evening. And it's interesting. So the big three American manufacturers sat the game out last night, but Volkswagen came in with a nostalgic themed ad that focused on their place in US culture. So I think it was a really interesting take for Volkswagen. Their ad performed just about 1,600% more effective than the median Super Bowl ad last night. So a huge win for the VW team. I know there was a lot of teasers leading up to last night's spot, but overall, a really good night for automotive brands that participated.
Yeah, it's great to see. I really dug that. Do you like the Kia ad?
The Kia ad was interesting. Again, different takes as far as automotive goes, but I think the theme we saw with Kia not launching, but continuing their efforts behind the Kia EV9. So we saw another electric vehicle focus last night outside of the Toyota Tacoma. So Kia took the heartstring emotional route, and again, it paid off. So Kia performed really well. So again, a great night for automotive all the way around, but some common themes, but different approaches to communicating each brand.
Awesome. Will, thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing your expertise with us. We really appreciate it. It's great to have you back. Look forward to having you again. And Matt, did you book any other experts for us this morning? I'm running on a few fumes and could really use a little help.
It's the Super Bowl. We got two experts on here.
Oh man.
Yep, we got one more for you. It's Rebecca Sandidage, also VP Brand Partnerships, and I know she wants to talk about consumer packaged goods. And and some other areas of interest in last night's game.
Hey guys, how are you? You hanging in there, Aaron?
Doing good. Just vibing. You know how it is. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, what did you like? What was your favorite ad that you saw?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good ads this year, so many good celebrities in the ads, but I think my favorite was probably the Dunkin ad. I thought it was just
Oh
like
yeah, that was
so
great.
fun. Really good use of celebrity. I loved like the Goodwill Hunting like call out that Matt Damon had. Um, what was it like? What do you think about these donuts or whatever it was? But great
Yeah, how do
ad.
you like
How do
them
you like them
donuts, right?
donuts?
Or something
That's
like
right.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the line. Yeah, but it was a great ad. I think it was like 5 times as effective as the typical or the average ad in the Super Bowl this year. So yeah,
Yeah, good for Duncan.
yeah.
And you're also an expert on alcohol. It's always, along with auto, kind of the two sort of big. I don't know.
I
Sorry, I
am
didn't.
an expert on alcohol.
You
Thank you,
know,
Aaron.
you know a normal amount about alcohol, and but what you know a lot about is alcohol brands advertising on television. Is what I was trying to say, and alcohol is a big advertiser at the Super Bowl in the past. For many years, it was the Super Bowl was the rights were exclusively held for alcohol brands by AB InBev.
Yep.
Last year, that exclusivity ended, and we saw a lot of brands jumping in, not just beer, but liquor as well, with Remy Martin, Crown Royal.
Yeah.
Um, what happened this year in year two of this post AB InBev exclusivity window?
Yeah, we just did not see as many alcohol brands in the game this year. I think there were 4 in there. Budweiser still seems to be king of the Super Bowl. They did really well with their Clydesdale ad, about twice as effective, I think, relative to the average ad in the Super Bowl. And another mark of that nostalgic kind of theme that we saw in a lot of the ads this year. But yeah, there was just not quite as much from the Beval group of brands this year. We did see a lot more from like the soft drink side of things, though, right?
Yeah, I am a sucker for any of those low calorie prebiotic
Yeah,
sodas. If I'm walking down the store, it's like if they got the Poppy or the Olipop or the Gus the grown up soda, I'm snagging one on the way out. So I was really excited to see Poppy in the game.
yeah, I was too. And I thought it was just really interesting to see kind of like the alcohol brands come down, the soft drink brands come up. Kind of like meeting consumers where they are. I think consumers are just not drinking as much. There's more kind of like a trend of being sober curious. Poppy is a healthy brand, right? It has like probiotics and all these things. It's a new brand. And they did a really good job of, really using the platform to reach a whole new audience for them.
Yeah, we saw Starry with Ice
Yeah,
Spice, and
I think
just
PepsiCo
really.
must be really pleased today. They had Starry do really well, so that's kind of like it was a great way to kind of like reintroduce Starry or introduce Starry. It's a newer brand from PepsiCo, so still kind of like doing their efforts to get the brand name out there. Great use of Ice Spice. I thought the Starry ad was really solid. The branding was salient throughout, did a great job of really communicating, the message of, hey, here's Starry, here's who we are. And it generated a lot of engagement.
Yeah, threw a little elbows over at Coca-Cola Co with that
A little
shot at
bit,
Sprite.
a little
It's
bit.
like, yeah, they're having fun out there.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened on the candy aisle this last night.
Big story for candy and the Super Bowl this year. So in years past, it's always been M&Ms. They've done really well with their Super Bowl ads. You remember the Christina Applegate one, the Maya Rudolph. They've always been really successful. And I think finally other candy advertisers have really taken note of that. We saw more candy advertisers this year than in the past. See, Lindt, Reese's, who else was in there? Oh, Nerds had a really bright spot, I'll say. Um,
Yeah, Addison Rae.
yeah. Yeah, and Lint did really well. Their ad, I think, was really timely. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. And
Gotta remember
it makes
that.
a lot of sense for these candy brands to be in the Super Bowl with Valentine's Day, and I think that they did a good job.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good reminder. Super Bowl is over. Time
I
to
know. Get those
start figuring out
Valentines out.
Valentine's Day. Yeah. All right. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us and here today.
Great.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you
your
for
time.
having me.
You know what makes my job a lot easier, Aaron?
I don't know, when you have great co-hosts like the experts we had on this show today.
I, I was gonna say when I have a great content marketing manager, writing this script for us. So
Oh,
I mean,
well, oh my God.
thank you for that.
All right. Yeah, it's my pledge. Um, yeah, tell us where they can get more of this high quality premium TV outcomes content.
Yeah, for fans of the big game, for clients, Super Bowl ad ranker from EDO is edo.com/Super Bowl, or just go to edo.com, email us, text us, send us LinkedIn messages. We're happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you for having me on the show. I am gonna go I'm gonna take a nap, I think.
Have fun with that. Thank you, Aaron.